If you've ever felt called to build something that feels less like a job and more like your soul's purpose, here's what I'm doing to figure it out. Welcome to episode 1 of Lessons I'm Learning, Building Something My Great-Grandmothers Would Recognize. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm a mom, an MBA, and a former healthcare finance executive who spent more than a decade inside the country's biggest hospital systems, both as a patient and as an administrator. I grew up in Loma Linda, California, one of the world's original blue zones, where people live longer not because of supplements, but because of how they spend their time. My great-grandmothers were indigenous. They had wellness practices that didn't have an industry around them. They just had lives. 2 years ago, I left the hospital system to build Kene, a salt and wellness studio in Holliston, Massachusetts. I loved my healthcare career. I'll always carry that work with me. But I felt called to build something that would have made sense before the wellness industry existed. Leaving a stable corporate career in your late 30s when you have a family and student loans is terrifying. I walked away from a career ladder I'd been climbing for 12 years. No safety net here, no backup plan, but the cost of giving 40+ hours a week to work that doesn't actually serve your life, your family, or your community, that's expensive too. So I started asking different questions. Not what are peptides, but what did people who live to 100 actually do? Not how do you optimize, but rather how do you slow down on purpose? What I wanted to build for this season of my life is slow, rooted in the kind of thing my great-grandmothers would recognize. I've learned you don't need permission from an industry to build something the world actually needs. Clarity doesn't come from following the loudest voices. It comes from listening to the quiet ones who came before you. Kene is open. We're seeing families every week. Follow for lesson 2.